Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Solidarity Challenge. We've already seen nearly every single one of the round one games. We've got one final one to go, though. It is going to be Scott McTominay against Louis Saha, of course, a former Man United player going up against the new breed of Man United player, obviously, in Scott McTominay and Louis Saha. Interested again to this one, Darren. We were just discussing it there. We're presuming they're both going to use Manchester United, aren't they? I mean, it'd be rude for them not to. Scott McTominay definitely has to.
Yeah. I think if Scott McTominay doesn't choose Manchester United, that's going to be the biggest story of the whole Solidarity Challenge. So he certainly has. I'm expecting Louis Saha to as well. So of course we get this scenario that we spoke about during Antoine Griezmann's game, that we could get McTominay tackled by McTominay whilst being controlled by McTominay. So Harry and I can have some fun with that potentially in the commentary.
Absolutely. And we've already seen Scott McTominay play PES before, Harry, ourselves at least anyway. And I think he lost in the first round of the challenge that we commentated over, didn't he? So, but he does have experience at least, so that's going to give him an edge, you would think.
Well, this is it. He's one of the PES ambassadors, I'm pretty sure, for Manchester United. He was there to announce the club's partnership with the game. So, yeah, you'd like to think as well as the fact he's played in these types of competitions before, just for a bit of fun. But, you know, the fact he has that experience behind him, he'll know what to expect. Whereas Louis Saha, we don't really know how much experience he has under his belt. So this could be his first time plugging in a PS4. He could be a player who's played PES for 10 years. We never know. So it could be an interesting game.
Listen, Harry, the good news is we've not had a 20-minute update or a 1 hour and 4-minute update, so we presume that he's plugged in earlier than now, so we should be okay.
You've jinxed us there, Darren. I'm touching wood. I'm touching wood. Well, before we do get into the game, though, Darren's going to chat to the players.
Okay, so Scott, Louis, how much are you looking forward to this one? It's all Manchester United affair, current Manchester United against ex-Manchester United. Are you looking forward to it? Are you ready?
Of course, ready. I think Scott is one of the favorites of the tournament, and I'm the underdog. But I still have my say. I think I will try my best. Just try to upset him. And who knows? As football is so magic. Sometimes the pressure is on and stuff like this, but it's always all about fun. I just don't want to be humiliated, so I'm gonna try to upset him.
Scott, I'm told that you've got experience. I'm told that you've got experience, that you've played in a tournament similar to this in the past. So that might just give you an edge, and that might be why Louis is suggesting that you're one of the favourites here.
Yeah, obviously he can play mind games, and he can go that route of trying to get in my head and different things like that. And for me, it's just I've got to concentrate on what I do with my own controller. I can't control what he does. So for me, it's going to be intense, and obviously I'm very much looking forward to it as well. And may the best man win, and hopefully it'll be a very good game.
Yeah.
So far, Antoine Griezmann has set the bar 5-0 and looked like a complete pro. So I think whoever wins it has got to get past Antoine Griezmann. So that's got to be the target for everybody. So he's who everybody's aiming for at the moment.
Yeah, I heard that my French colleague is on top, was on top of another one, but I'm not sure the level of Julie, to be fair. So he doesn't play much. He's a bit like me. So I expect Scotty to play against Greasy, and hope to see me first to upset him, to train him, to make sure that he gets his skill up.
And we'll be ready.
Yeah.
What's the tactics, Scott? What are the tactics?
I can't tell you no tactics. That's giving my game plan away. We'll just see once we get in this game. That'll be. Eldridge has set me up very well. That's all I'm going to say.
So you have your coach with you?
He's been on FaceTime this afternoon, so we've had a few little chit chat. He's sat me down and said what he expects from me, and hopefully I'll put it into practice.
Right, we wish you both all the best. Play well, and we'll speak after.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
So we're all set for this all Manchester United affair, and both players will be representing Manchester United. So Scott McTominay is the home player against Louis Saha, who is the away player. So this is going to be interesting, Harry, this one.
Yeah, it really should be. When you think about the the caliber of player in Scott McTominay. He's played in competitions like this before. Going up against Louis Saha, who obviously has scored goals around England, has goal scoring form around him.
He's
Early on chance comes in. It should be a fun one. It's good to see as well. Scott McTominay striking early on.
Fairly by Scott McTominay. Here's Rashford, and then tees up. First real shot in anger that's been saved by the goalkeeper. Dan James now for Louis Saha.
Non, mais attends, il donne pas.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and now Marcus Rashford. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Anthony Martial with an opportunity to shoot, and that's saved by David De Gea. So both of them have found a way to get forward early on.
Run, Mason!
Yeah, nice attack there from Louis Saha. He'll have the ball back here as well for another attack, but one name you might not be familiar with, Damani Mella, one of the Manchester United youth setup coming into play.
There's Rashford getting the cross in straight into the arms of David De Gea. Yeah, that's an interesting one to note, that, Harry, isn't it? The fact that he's sprung a little bit of a surprise. Scott McTominay with a team selection.
Come pick the player.
Now Rashford.
Non, il y a un problème, c'est pas possible.
Rashford turns, Juan Mata. Lewis
Foul,
has been
ref.
good so far at getting bodies behind the ball. He's got a good defensive shape about him there.
Ah, c'est pas possible. Franchement, c'est pas le même jeu.
Mata.
Tout à l'heure, on jouait, c'est pas pareil.
And now Greenwood with the chance, and Greenwood over the bar. And he's disappointed with that. No doubt Scott McTominay will be as well.
Yeah, good passage of play there. We heard in the pre-game interview, Scott was talking about Eldridge being on the phone and telling him what to do. That Eldridge O'Neill of Manchester United football team. So he's getting tips from the pros, just like Griezmann would have.
In goes the corner from Mata. A little bit too high for Rashford. So Scott McTominay on the attack. Nemanja Matic.
No, Matic, stop running.
Didn't quite turn quickly enough, did he? Victor Lindelof was there to clear.
Oh, the keeper's coming.
Just one little split second.
What he's doing?
Hesitation, and then Mata's shot.
No way does he save that.
Literally stood on the penalty spot. What was he doing out there?
Well, I think Saha was maybe holding triangle to bring him out.
Oh, it's
That's what
In
caused
goes the corner.
the long-range shot there from Scott McTominay. And, well, it's good vision.
Look for the upset, my friend. Look for the upset.
It was straight at him.
Here's
Go on,
Lindelof. And now Greenwood. Mata. Rashford.
No, keep overhitting my shots. No, I don't feel like it's the same. It's the same control online. It's not the same.
On the volley completely, actually. Was looking for maybe in that instance almost a bit more power when you go for those dipping shots. You need it to dip as soon as possible, but the trajectory was just too high that time and it went over the bar.
A chance here for Louis Saha to put an attack together. Anthony Martial. It's noticeable that Louis hasn't selected Scott McTominay. Oh! Right across the face of goal. Had anybody been coming in the far post, it would have been 1-0 to Louis Saha. That's an escape there for Scott McTominay.
Yeah, it really is. He has a chance to counter here, but yeah, maybe some mind games there from Louis. I like it.
Come to the ball, the man.
Here's the Damani Mella, who Harry was talking about earlier. Now Dan James for Louis Saha's version of Manchester United. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Good tackle over there by Timothy Foster-Mensah. Here's Damani Mella. Now, can he pick somebody out? Rashford was in the middle and so was David De Gea, who quickly wants to get Saha's United on the move again. Quite an even game this, isn't it?
It is. It's been ebbing and flowing, stopping, starting, attacks at both ends. Really could have seen some goals at the moment. Unlucky to see this be potentially 0-0 as we approach the break.
What do you think about the Scott McTominay team selection? Because he's got one or two players in the team today that wouldn't be in a Manchester United 11. Yet you look at the team that Saha selected, and that's more like what you'd see in an authentic game of football, the kind of names that are out there.
No.
Yeah, the big one that we see often in the eFootball Pro League as Saha wins the ball back and is on the attack now is Damani Mella in the stat balance mode, because he's so tall and so physical. Every other stat is balanced, so it gives him that edge over maybe some of the likely players who'd see him later on in the game, the likes of Bruno Fernandes. So it looks like Mella's getting the start here.
Yes, he is, and he's in for the
No
goal
way.
here. He's put it wide. Well,
What
that was the
is
best
it?
opportunity for anybody so far, and Damani Mella fires wide. Marcus Rashford plays him through.
pas normal,
I think
ça. C'est
Scott's
quoi,
going to be
ça?
disappointed he didn't find the target there.
Yeah, so often at the pro level, we'll see Damani Mella stick that one home. The accuracy just not there for Scott McTominay, but you're right, it's an unorthodox team selection, and any Manchester United fans at home watching this might be questioning it, but you just have to trust the process, and Scott McTominay clearly following the lead from the Manchester United
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il
esports
fait?
players.
Yeah, I was going to say, I presume that was the kind of advice that he got earlier today, maybe in terms of what team he should put out there for this one. So far, though, it's 0-0, and Luis Saha is holding his own, despite the fact that he's giving Scott McTominay the big build-up in the interview. Here's a chance for Dan James and Eric Bailly.
Non, c'est pas possible!
Defending back there for United. Here's Damani Mella, lovely turn. And he's got players up there with him, and one or two others like Mata trying to get forward through midfield. Here is Juan Mata, Marcus Rashford, and the tackle made there by Harry Maguire. And there's half-time, it's 0-0, and people who thought that this might be one-sided and thought this might be a Scott McTominay game, well, he's having to work hard here.
He really is, and there's always a chance, the longer it stays 0-0, that Saha can
Good luck.
chance and Louis might be able to steal
Straight back to business.
in one of the most unlikely of circumstances.
Non, mais je te jure, en fait, quand t'appuies,
I mean, he's been able to fashion the chances that we've expected, but just hasn't been able to finish them.
Can Marcus Rashford finish
Oh,
this
my
time?
word!
He's at the post. He was teed up by Mason Greenwood, beat the goalkeeper. It comes back off the post. That's the closest either of them have come so far.
Really good chance. It comes from a Saha mistake, and
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il
can't
fait?
afford too many risky passes just like that one.
Non, mais attends, c'est quoi
Otherwise,
là?
that will just leave the door wide
C'est
open
pas,
for
c'est pas.
McTominay to come and steal this game.
Yeah, this is not quite Pires will beat McManaman on penalties, but it's getting towards that, isn't it? The fact that Scott McTominay's not taking the chances that he's created, and of course it leaves him susceptible if Luis Saha can create the chance and take it. Sure, there's the head. Oh, just wide. So close. I thought that was going to nestle in the back of the net.
This really is a striker's game of PES at the moment from
Oh,
Saha.
j'ai pas le droit!
Really frail at the back, but the
Pas le
attacking
droit.
opportunities he's creating with this Manchester United front three is absolutely, well, it's amazing to watch. And all it takes is for one of them to be on target, and then maybe you put David De Gea, or Scott McTominay's David De Gea, in a really tricky position. So keep him coming, Saha. You might have a chance.
0-0. Penalties if it's all square at full time. Here's Greenwood. Marcus Rashford up there with him. Here's Damani Mella. That's too high. Another opportunity for Scott McTominay comes to nothing.
Thought maybe this would have taken a deflection, but the referee for the goal kick just blasts it over. It's a rash shot from the man from Manchester United youth set up.
Damani Mella is shot.
Maybe a bit of frustration creeping in for McTominay.
Guy.
We are moving towards the game, Harry, as well, where if one of these guys gets a goal, it's going to be difficult for the other one to
Go on, then.
So you don't want to be the player that makes the mistake now, do you?
You always want to be the player with time on his side, and obviously if you are in the lead, the
loves
later it
keeping
goes
the ball.
on, time works against you, so we'll have to see.
It's at Mata, and now Greenwood, and they're flowing forward here for Scott McTominay.
Oh, delay.
Luke Shaw, though, back there defensively for Luis Saha, and Victor Lindelof clips it away.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il fait?
Pogba forward to Bruno Fernandes. And now Dan James. The closest either of the players have come so far was when Scott McTominay hit the post. Wan-Bissaka with a cross in. This is promising. Good defending in there for McTominay's team. Still not clear though. Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Martial, Luke Shaw. In it goes towards Rashford, away by They're hanging on back there a little bit, the McTominay team.
They have a chance for a counter here maybe, but I was just watching Rashford's run there. It looked perfect for Louis to maybe grab a goal. It wasn't to be though.
Rashford looking to turn. Matic takes it off him.
Mais non!
Here is McTominay.
No, I didn't pass
giving
it
the
there.
ball away to Shaw. Martial. Dan James. Fair challenge. Now
Push!
McTominay can send his
Monsieur
own team
l'arbitre!
forward. Here's Mason Greenwood. 0-0. Time running out. Damani Mella actually gets onto the end of his own pass. Still going here. And stabbed behind by Lindelof
Aïe.
to the corner.
Où is it?
This could be a big moment.
Il joue vraiment?
Mata swings it in.
Ah, de United.
Glanced away. Greenwood with a chance to control and shoot. And that's saved by David De Gea. Any kind of deflection there and it would have gone in.
Timo!
Forward here for Louis. Good tackle by McTominay. There's a real chance for a counter there, but well, for the Frenchman, it will be a free kick going the other way.
No!
Yeah, given away by Lindelof. Mella goes backwards to Fosu-Mensah. Here's Mata. And it goes to Rashford. Turned around now to Greenwood.
Fais pas faute, fais pas faute, fais pas faute.
Loads of defenders back though for Saha's United. Still going though, Mason Greenwood. If he can tiptoe his way through. Luke Shaw with another
No, you
tackle.
got to push down on it.
Now Dan James. Luke Shaw. Who's your money on, Harry?
Oh, I couldn't call it at this point. I mean, if we go to penalties, we saw what happened earlier on.
No.
Yesterday, I should say. As the ball
Mais
comes
non!
in. Oh, there's a
Mais
chance.
non!
Oh, chance there.
Corner.
Given away by Fosu-Mensah. Rashford just needed to be a bit sharper.
Head that. No way does he head that straight to him on the edge of the box.
For Louis Saha, and he fires
Oh!
it high, and he fires it high. That's a goal kick.
Well,
Oh, right
there was a
foot.
chance at least. I think if
Oh
it
my
was on
God.
target, it would have had to have gone through Nemanja Matic, who had it covered all day long. If I'm Scott McTominay,
Yeah, you
here,
can
and I've
only
been
blame
hearing the
yourself,
advice
man.
of the Manchester United eFootball Pro captain Eldridge. Well, I should be making some subs around this time, or certainly in the last 10 or 15 or so in-game minutes, because you had the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba just waiting
No,
to be
man.
introduced into the fold, and especially if penalties are where we're destined, you want those types of players on the pitch to take the vital spot kicks.
In the meantime, it's Louis Saha coming forward, looking for what might be a winning goal. Luke Shaw. He's tackled by Victor Lindelof and Mason Greenwood. They're on the run through the middle.
Come to feet, man. Go on then, son.
And then Maguire gets
Oh my
there just
God.
ahead of Greenwood.
No. He's been practicing, man. I know
Isn't
it.
it just that one moment for one of these two to prevent a penalty shootout and get one of them through?
No.
Here's Mata opening up a little bit. Rashford, what a tackle by Maguire.
No.
And there it is, full-time penalties, Harry.
No. No. No.
Well, he's got Mella
So
up
when
first,
football,
the youth player, who was
yeah,
the
but-
surprise selection, and he's the first penalty taker here for Scott McTominay. And he scored.
Yeah,
Has he
baby!
scored? Has it gone in? It's not. It's hit the
gone
bar.
off.
He's missed it. It's gone to. We saw one yesterday. They hit the bar and went over the line. This has hit the bar and come back out. Here's Mason Greenwood. Oh,
Yeah!
that's missed as well.
I don't believe
missed the
it.
first
I
two.
don't believe it.
Are we going to see one of the pre-tournament favourites go out here?
Oh, he's missed it. Oh, he's missed
Oh, he's
it.
missed it.
Oh, he has
He's
missed
kicked
it.
wide.
And he's
Oh, that's a
crumbling.
heartbreaker. That is just what Scott McTominay needed. So let's see whether Rashford can score for him. Oh, that's cheeky. That's calm.
Come on then, no pressure now.
Where he had ice running through his veins. Louis Saha has a penalty in
Oh, he
hand at
misses.
the moment. Dan James against
Dan
David
James
De Gea.
misses. He misses.
Oh, as well on the back level again. What drama, Harry?
Saha just cannot seem to get the goal at the moment. They just keep dragging wide of that left-hand post.
Here's Mata. Big penalty. Scores brilliantly, really easily. Scott McTominay ahead. He's come back from seemingly being out
Now
of the
then.
competition.
Now then.
Control of the
Goes outside every
shootout.
time.
Bruno
I know he does.
Fernandes.
He likes that.
2-1 Scott
No.
McTominay.
Yeah! Calma! No problemo!
Scores down the middle.
Si.
So
Pressure!
2-2.
Yeah, Maki!
Fifth penalty. And Scott McTominay, first Scott McTominay, big moment, all scored. No
in there.
problem. He will have enjoyed that more than any Scott McTominay's through.
Pressure.
Pogba and
Very good
Saha
screen.
have to score. What a save by David De Gea! And from nowhere, in the shootout, Scott McTominay somehow has got himself through.
Gol, ¿cómo c'est possible?
It's on me, 55% position. United play, my friend. No. I was on top. Look,
Fellas.
55. I was on top.
Fellas, I've got to interrupt. Scott, you were out. The penalty shootout was drifting away, and suddenly you came back from nowhere. What drama?
Yeah, that was an incredible penalty shootout, you know. But I was unfortunate throughout the game. I thought I hit the post, should have scored. Had a few one-on-one, should have scored. Slack finishing, too much time on the circle button. Need to relax with that. But hopefully next round I'll be ready. But no, he should have won. Credit where it's due. He should have been in the next round. But that's penalty shootouts for you.
Louis, you said that Scott was among the favourites when we spoke before the match, and you were so close to winning.
Yeah, I can say that I was like with maybe the best formation. So I managed to upset him. That was my plan, making sure that it doesn't get comfortable and then that I can feel like it was maybe a bit cheeky. So shaky, you know, it's like unsure. But I really think that he's got the organization. His skills gonna go up. I'm sure that he's gonna go to the final because he's still it was a good fun. I really liked it. But penalty, I think that the setting was right.
The pens. Yeah. It took me 2 penalties to realise how to take them, and then I thought, right, I'm in business now.
but it was good fun. Really good. I enjoyed this. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Louis, thank you. Last one to you, Scott. They do say that when you're going to win a tournament, you've got to grow into it. You've got to get better as you go. So you've got the opportunity now to build from this one.
Yeah, of course, that's what it's about. It's about building on performances. Obviously, I wasn't good enough in the first round, but we move on, and that's football.
We wish you well. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, fellas.
What a game between two ambassadors for Manchester United, if you like. Scott McTominay against Louis Saha. Scott just about taking it away there, though, Darren. We pegged him as one of the favourites, but he was a little bit shaky there, wasn't he?
Well, he was, but I think Louis did better than maybe Louis thought he was going to do, because he was giving Scott the big build-up, wasn't he, before, and saying that he's one of the favourites. And I think Louis does genuinely believe that Scott's going to grow into the competition. I thought it was really honest, though, when I spoke to him after, and he said that it took him 2 penalties to actually work out how to take them. So maybe he's not quite as experienced as we thought he was going to be.
Yeah, Harry, both players, though, they created their chances, it has to be said, just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, we said it was for Saha, a real striker's game, really, really shaky defending, but when he was going forward, playing some really, really solid football, and shame he couldn't find the back of the net. For Scott, though, I think he said it perfectly in that post-game interview. Needs to calm down on the circle button, which, by the way, if you haven't figured out already, is the shoot button for his his configuration. So I think he knows that he doesn't need to put full sauce on every single shot now. So hopefully we can see maybe some more goals in the 90 minutes going forwards.
Well, that will be the end of the first round of games, and we will be going into the quarterfinals. But just to remind you guys why we are doing the Solidarity Challenge, it is indeed for the WHO COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. You can donate at www.solidaritychallenge.org. But as said, quarterfinals coming up after this.